This is Jamey Boyum at the Gregg County Courthouse with Gregg County Judge Bill Stoudt, and of course elections are over, and I guess county got some pretty good news because the election on the parking garage was passed.
Right. Yeah, we're pretty excited about that. The voters made the decision, and we're moving forward. We've already had some calls this morning with our contractor and some engineers, and making sure we're starting to move the ball forward.
Those people were paying attention.
Everybody's been paying attention.
So this has got to be pretty exciting for the county. It's a big win. I mean, parking is an issue.
Well, it's just been a subject that's been talked about for so long. And county judges prior to me were talking about this 20, 30 years ago. And we discussed it and studied it for years, and it was time to make a decision. And I have total confidence in the voters, and that was my insistence with the court, is just give it to the voters. And if the voters want this, they'll get out and vote for it. And if they don't, they won't. And obviously they got out and they voted for it. As I've said in the past, when we've had all 5 courts are going, we've jury duty days. This courthouse is an extremely busy place, and all of our surveys, we have 750 people a day that come and go inside this place. We have 129 parking spaces around it. And then you start adding 5 courts and juries and all the people that are coming to the courthouse. There's just not enough parking, and we start parking in front of merchants downtown, and they don't like that because it takes away from their parking. And so this is going to address a lot of different issues, not just the courthouse. It's going to address a lot of issues just that's been plaguing downtown, and of course Longview is our county seat, and we have great partnership with the city, and it's just something that we need to get done, and the voters, in my opinion, made the right decision.
Yeah, apparently many of those voters have parked downtown during these heavy traffic days.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Yeah, again, it's been well talked about and discussed and debated in court, and the voters made the final decision, and in my opinion, they made the right one.
Do you, is there a guesstimate on a timeline?
Well, we're talking to the contractor this morning and getting all of our schedules lined out and how we're going to be doing this. We're guesstimating about an 18-month process, and that's if we don't get a lot of rain delays or some kind of a major supply chain delay. 18 months to 2 years max, probably, but more closer to the 18-month part. Should be complete. And it's going to be, I will say, the one bad thing about all this is there's going to be some pain involved, because traffic flow is going to change downtown for about the next 18 months when we start fencing the construction site off, and we start limiting traffic flow on Medfin, because there's a lot of staging that's got to take place with steel, and it's going to be a mess for a while. And then I want to pre-warn all the people in Gregg County right now. If you're coming downtown when this project starts, you might want to avoid Medfin Street and Center Street, because that's going to be, those areas are going to be blocked in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, the parking is going to be limited.
It's going to get really bad for a short period of time, and it's going to get really, really good when it's complete.
Apparently so. And you know, it really, as far as taxes go, it's not really that expensive, like $10 per $100,000.
Yeah, depending what, that's one of the key elements is the projected cost was around the 20 million range, depending on what inflation does, and it's coming down a little bit on some of the hard costs. And once they get those hard costs and that we can hold solid for 90 days and then get the contract signed, we'll know exactly what the costs are going to be. But it's our intention. We set $5 million aside for this year's budget to go toward the parking facility. And I'm going to be going to court, which I told the voters that if this thing passes, I'm going to go to court to talk about taking $5 million out of a restricted reserve. So we'll have $10 million already paid down on this project. So the chances of us using the total $19 million bond is very, it won't happen, basically. It'll be a lot less than that, and that half a cent was calculated on the 19 million bond, and we think the bond will be less than that. So the county taxes are your smallest tax bill in the county versus the cities and schools, and this is gonna be such a small tax increment, you're barely gonna notice it on your tax bill. That's number one. But number two is, it's my intention to put a plan together that will have a good shot at paying this whole thing off in about 5 years. And that's what I want to do. I'm not saying I can do it, but there's a very good chance we'll have an opportunity to pay this thing off a lot quicker than what it's set up to do. Right now, it'll be set up on the bond. It'll be set up on a 15-year bond with a 10-year call. I mean, with a 5-year call. Before it was a 10-year call with a 25-year bond, and because we're going to put this additional monies in it, we're going to reduce the bond length to 15 with a call at 5, which means we can pay it all off after 5 years. And I believe we can do that, but time will tell. But I do believe we can do that.
Yeah, and the county, of course, has been debt-free for quite some time, I guess.
It's been debt-free. About the second year I got here, we paid off all the debt and and we built on reserves, and we're in a strong financial position. And going forward, we should maintain that. Our tax rate should continue to be low. Right now it's 27 cents, and it's not going to go maybe a half a cent if that. And then after the bonds are paid, it goes away. So the sooner I can get the bonds paid off, the sooner the tax rate will go back down even more. It's not going to be a long, drawn-out process with this. My intent, and I believe the court's intent, is to get this thing paid off as quickly as possible and move on down the road.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, just very grateful to the voters. That's who made this happen, is the voters of Gregg County, and I want to thank them sincerely. That I think they made the right decision.
All right, thanks a lot, Judge.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. Bond has passed. Parking garage, it's on its way. Going to be a little painful initially,
Yep.
but it's going to get a whole lot better soon.
Yep.
Thanks again, Judge.
All right, thanks.
We'll have more later on KLTV 7 News and KLTV.com. And as always, he's got stuff he's got to do. He's a judge.